Well, I'm finally level 5, which means the time has come to choose a Pokemon Go team. And after thinking long and hard, I've decided I'm going to go with my instincts. Please remember that this is my decision, and I believe by following my instincts, I'm making the best choice for me. My instinct said Team Valor. This video is sponsored by Amino apps. If you didn't know, there's now an Amino app specifically for Pokemon Go, where you can communicate with Pokemon Go fans from all around the world. You can share the rare Pokemon that you've caught so far, talk about why your team is the best, and why the other two teams suck. I'm kidding. Don't be mean on the app, kids. And pretty much anything to do with Pokemon Go. Post a blog, or a poll, or even a GIF. If it's Pokemon Go related, you'll definitely find people to interact with. You can find the app on the Play Store by tapping in Pokemon GO Amino, or click either the Android or the Apple link in the description. If you want to follow me on the app, my username, like my Poké Amino account, is the exact same as my YouTube name. I've had a good experience with the app so far, and I'm sure you will if you're a Pokemon Go fan as well. Now onto the video. So, yeah, Pokemon Go. What's there left to say that hasn't already been said? It's the biggest game of the year so far, currently the most popular app by far, is apparently more popular than... and is being covered by just about every YouTube channel. Like, ever. Seriously, Grade A has done a Pokemon Go video, iDubbbz has done a couple Pokemon Go videos, PewDiePie's done about 8 Pokemon Go videos, MottAlley is basically a Pokemon Go channel now. People who I bet don't even play the main series games are making Pokemon Go videos. So, what kind of Pokemon channel would this be if I didn't make at least one video on Pokemon Go? So, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So despite Pokemon Go's absurd popularity, as we all know, the game is far from perfect. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's almost as if the game was released unfinished. There are server issues, we can't track Pokemon properly, there are even features missing from the trailer that we were promised, and in a lot of cases, the game feels kind of empty. So because of this, I've decided to make a list of 5 things that I would like to see added in Pokemon Go sometime in the near future. Now with the game in the state it's in, I could literally go on and on about stuff that I want. But I only wanted to keep this list to 5, so I'm not going to be talking about stuff that we already know that we're going to be getting, like trading and battling others, unless it's something specific to that feature. So, here are 5 things that I'd like to see in Pokemon Go. Hope you enjoy. Number 1. Team exclusives. Tell me, what's the difference between joining Team Valor or Team Mystic? Well, apart from some colour, nothing. Literally nothing. Like, the absolute biggest difference is the gyms that will be on your side. That's it. What's the most complex reason why someone picked their Pokemon Go team?
I chose my team because I'm looking to find wisdom in Pokemon and have a calm analysis of in every situation.
F*** off. No one picked their team for some psychological bullshit. They picked their team based on colour or which legendary bird they like the most. Well, at least that's what I did anyway. Although I'm sure there are people who pick their team for some other reasons. For example, they want to be on the same team as their friends, or they wanted to be on the most popular team. What I feel would be great is if there was some sort of exclusive perk depending on what team you joined. I'm not talking about getting the legendary bird depending on what team you join. I'm talking about things you can only do depending on what team you're on. For example, according to the team captains, Instinct focuses more on hatching eggs, Mystic focuses more on evolution, and Valor focuses more on making your Pokemon stronger. Why not give each team some sort of ability for that? For example, Team Instinct can hatch eggs faster, Team Mystic can evolve Pokemon quicker, and Valor are able to make Pokemon stronger, or something along those lines. My point is, adding something unique to each team, I feel would spice up the game a lot more, and will give people a much better reason for picking their Pokemon Go team, other than, I like the colour blue or I like the fire chicken. Number 2. To be able to exchange unwanted Pokemon, items and eggs for better rewards. A good point that Arizo brought up in his Pokemon Go video is making a candy system where depending on your Pokemon's evolution stage will depend on how much candy they're worth. Of course Niantic can play around with this. For example, the rarer the Pokemon, the more candy you can exchange for them, something along those lines. Anything other than just 1 candy per Pokemon. The fact that a CP3000 plus Dragonite is worth the same amount of candy as a CP10 Pidgey just doesn't feel right. Also, idea that needs to happen. Selecting multiple Pokemon to transfer. Seriously, the fact that if I want to transfer all these Pokemon, I have to do it one at a time, which is a right ball ache. Well, at the very least you can transfer Pokemon for something. unlike items, what happens quite frequently to me when playing is because I don't fight against gyms often, my bag always becomes full, and I end up having to bin what seems like hundreds of potions and revives. Can't we exchange these for something? Yeah, I know we can't exchange them for candy, but something else other than nothing would be nice. Finally, let's talk about eggs. We can get rid of Pokemon, we can get rid of items, but we can't get rid of eggs. Okay Niantic, here's the thing. I don't give a flying f*** about any of the Pokemon that I can get from a 2k egg. Except maybe Pikachu. I haven't got one of those yet. But apart from that, everything else is pretty much trash. Who the hell's gonna get excited when their 2k egg is hatching? I would much rather have space for 5 and 10k eggs rather than having to waste a spot for a 2k egg. So being able to exchange an item for something, and an egg, to be honest I'd be okay if I could just get rid of eggs. Number 3. More Pokemon variety. Right, listen Niantic, I don't want Gen 4 to come around and all I can find are f***ing Bidoof and Starly. Now I understand that some Pokemon are going to be more common than others, but come on, there are about, what, 145 Pokemon available right now, and I'm limited to what seems like a handful. And it's not just that. The Pokemon I always seem to find is the regional bird, the regional rodent, the regional bugs, the fish that takes ages to evolve, Zubat, and f***ing Drowsy. Like, seriously, where I live, Drowsy are everywhere. And judging by the most common Pokemon in Pokemon GO right now, I can pretty much predict what's going to be common when the future generations are available. On top of that, they're going to be the most common Pokemon you find in eggs as well. So Niantic, please. It's okay to make some Pokemon rarer than others. Just, please can you make the future generations of Pokemon have a bit more variety? Like, now, I don't think I ever want to see a Drowsy ever again. Number 4. More music. This suggestion is from my friend Kangas Cloud, and when I really think about it, yeah, it's something I definitely want. I mean, think about it. Are we really going to have the same battle music when fighting a legendary Pokemon? If we did, it'd be pretty underwhelming in my opinion. Is there going to be new music added for trading? New music for battling a friend? What I think would be awesome is if new music was added for each generation of Pokemon they added. Say, possibly a brand new walk and battle theme. Of course some people might complain, oh I don't like this new theme, I want the old theme back. Well, they could easily add an option to change the music you're listening to. Plus, it'd be nice to hear something else other than the same theme over and over again. I mean, yes, this is a nice theme, but imagine if in Sun and Moon we had the same music playing for every route, and the same battle music for every battle. It would get old pretty quickly. And the 5th thing that I'm going to talk about that I want to see in Pokemon GO is a Master Ball that isn't going to fail. One of my fears about the Master Ball is throwing it and either missing and losing it forever, or throwing it just before the Pokemon attacks and losing it forever. Like, this ain't the anime. There's a good chance I'm only ever going to have one of these, if not extremely few. I do not want to throw my Master Ball just to have it be knocked away like it was nothing. The point of a Master Ball is that it'll never fail on a wild Pokemon, so I'd appreciate it if you kept it that way. Now I guess some people could make a case with throwing the Master Ball, that if you miss the Pokemon, then it's your fault. But what if your finger accidentally slips, or the Pokemon is so far away it's extremely hard to hit? Obviously, if I'm ever lucky enough to have a Master Ball, I ain't wasting it on a normal Pokemon. I'm going to save that thing for a Mewtwo or, I don't know, Ditto. Seriously, why isn't Ditto in the game yet? Hopefully the Master Ball once thrown catches the Pokemon, no matter what. And hopefully we can't easily lose it, whether it be throwing and missing the Pokemon or the Pokemon attacking, because that would just seem really unfair. And those are just 5 of the many things that I'd like to see in Pokemon GO at some point. Obviously I could go on, but I didn't want to make a list of stuff that's already been confirmed, like legendary battles, and trading, and other things, like actually allowing us to track the Pokemon again, which is apparently being worked on, along with some other things I didn't talk about. But anyway, I still hope you enjoyed my first Pokemon GO video. Please leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more Pokemon videos in the future. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.